since our last user group meeting, we've conducted several webinars, presentations on using APIs for CICS modernization. During a few of these sessions, we actually polled attendees about the status of their modernization plans. And what we learned was that, almost everyone has some modernization initiative in progress. In fact, probably about 60% of those that responded are in a planning or a pre-planning stage. And we also learned that modernizing mainframe applications still remains really an important element to most companies' digital transformation strategy, and letting legacy apps participate in the hybrid cloud is a high priority for most IT organizations. And so learning and confirming, this level of focus on modernization, we felt it would be of interest for you to learn more about, modernizing with your current investment in HostBridge, along with HCL's low-code platform, which is called Volt MX. And Daryl McDonald, who is a Volt MX architect, is going to be speaking to you and demonstrating, Volt MX working with HostBridge. Daryl has over 10 years of experience, with this platform. And we actually got to view his experience during a conversation that we were having with HCL when we were trying to establish a partnership relationship. HostBridge and HCL had agreed to a proof of concept, for us to evaluate the interaction between Volt MX and HostBridge. James was on the call. We asked Daryl and James what it would take. And since all of you know James, you'll appreciate his response was for all of us to get off the call and let him and Daryl discuss the effort, which we did. But within 30 minutes or less, they had all of us back on the phone to show Volt MX talking and getting data from HostBridge. So to say the least, we were and we continue to remain impressed. When James, Scott, our technical team have always felt that when developing web services, APIs, we do it faster, easier, more resiliently than anyone else. So when we can find a partner that can do the same for the other half of the equation, the development side, which we don't perform, we feel that's a good thing for HostBridge and our clients, particularly looking to modernize with, APIs and low code. So Daryl, with that, I turn it over to you.
Okay. So thank you, Rex. I mean, as Rex said, we've been in the market for a long time with this platform. Now, the Volt MX name is relatively new. This is actually the product HCL acquired last year and is historically the Coney Quantum platform. And again, we have been in the market for over 10 years. And when we talk about modernization of APIs through the low code or, applications through low code, what we want to bring to the table is the ability to take the data that HostBridge is exposing it, combine it with data from anywhere else that you're looking at getting data from, and do it in such a way that it's cross-platform, whether you need a native app, a web PWA app. It doesn't matter. I mean, this one tooling allows us to do that. And, if you look at what Gartner and everybody says, the integration part, a lot of times of an application is 65-70% of the app itself. And being able to do that is what we want to talk about here today. Jerry, you can go to the next slide. So here, again, this is our slide that's basically saying we want to get data from any data source and get it out to any device out here. And to do that, there's a level, and I should say to do that securely, because again, VoltMX brings to the table a lot of security and built-in attributes that we'd love to take out of this call and discuss with you, because security is foremost importance. And we grew up in the financial and healthcare industries, and so we baked a lot of that into the platform to make all of this secure. But the under the covers that we're going to look at quickly here today, we have Volt Iris, which is our IDE. This is the whole design tool. This is where you would develop the applications and put the data out there. And we have Foundry, and Foundry is our secure application layer middleware where we take the data and get it from any backend out to the devices. Now, I should say that Foundry, we operate in by default an over-the-air type model. So we're not storing your data anywhere else. We're taking the data from your systems and getting it out to the devices. So again, just additional less points of security you have to think about. So Jerry, if you could stop sharing it, I'll share my screen here, and we'll go into the platform itself.
And Daryl, as you're bringing that up, let me interrupt and just say we have a question that's come in. We appreciate that. We will answer that question as we proceed through our presentation today. If you have other questions about anything, please send them in to us.
Yes, please. So here, we mentioned earlier, about the trade app, and you've seen it in various versions of this before. And before I go into Foundry, I'll just show you, this is that application rendered through VoltMX. And as you can see, it's a full responsive web PWA style application that's got the, adjusting here, letting us scroll, the different footprints. And this just being one of the areas. Now, from a Foundry perspective, what we've done here today, it's not, there's not a lot of services in here, because, we're basically taking this example and showing it through the platform. But, again, I mentioned security, and just at a high level, what we provide is the ability to take any, whether you're using OAuth, Okta, LDAP, AD, we don't care. If you have consumer-based applications where you want to integrate the social services, we support all of that. And this, again, just as a quick note here, from a HostBridge perspective here, we basically have two APIs that we've exposed here. And one of the nice things, right now we don't have any security tied on these. We can actually, through an application, tie and secure integration services. So we'll handle all the token passing, et cetera. And as HostBridge, they expose REST APIs, but a lot of our other systems may not. Out of Foundry, the only thing we expose is REST. So if we consume a SOAP service, we'll expose it as REST, sort of simplifying this whole back-end process. But the whole premise here is, on this transaction, as you're passing in values here and getting responses back out, like in the get quotes, and this one, there is no input, but I can also come in right here and fetch the response. And this is the values coming back. Now, one of the nice things that we have in here is the ability to look at the logs. And when we talk about transactions and things, and so you can actually come in here and see all of the data coming back from all the different levels, the input, the output, and the formatted response. So, and additionally, from the test, I can see adjacent the formatted data here. And if I want to just take all of this, I can move it across to my output variables. I can actually look at it in the raw data. And so again, getting the tool here to make sure we're getting the right data out to our developers. And that's the whole goal here. And like here on the output, in this case, we can format it. We can actually, if there's more data than we want, we can limit the data. We can bring it down. We can, do pass, just send out the appropriate data. Now, from a tooling perspective, inside of VoltMX here, again, we mentioned the fact that we can do this. It's JavaScript under the covers, and when we have an action editor and things. So all of this is based on low code actions. And our whole premise here is, there are a lot of low-code vendors on the market. Now we're going to fall on that higher end of the vendors, where our target audience is the professional developers, where we don't want to put any limitations on what you do, and you've got the ability to use the low-code actions to speed up these developers, to work with what we call a fusion team, where your IT guys are working with your business team to bring a product together. And when you're using this tool, what you see here is exactly what you're going to be seeing on the screen. Because if you noticed a few minutes ago, as I was scrolling through, I've got certain breakpoints here on these. I can come through, and as you can see, as I'm moving between the breakpoints, what I'm seeing here on the screen is exactly the same thing that you saw there in the application itself. Likewise, if I got a mobile, here are the different mobile devices, and the look and feel, as you can see, is in here differently. But what's it look like on different mobile devices? So having the ability to go down and bring it up to an iPhone 7, or all the way up to a Pro Max, or switching over and looking at it on an Android and saying, but that's what it looks like on a Pixel 3. What's it look like on a Note S9? So again, all of this in here, just allowing you to do this. And at the same time, we have the ability to generate previews. As I'm developing it, I can bring my target audience in a lot faster, and put these applications out there so that they can look at it and comment on it early in the process. Tablets, same thing, different footprints of tablets, where I've got landscape or horizontal. You can see it on the screen here. You've got these are full widget controls on here, as you can see from the look and feel. And over here, you've got the ability for let's just say there's the button. You can look at the skins. This is basically the CSS, where you can actually get down to the pixel perfect on your colors, everything else. So again, we have this in all aspects, whether it's B2E, B2B, or B2C, full retail, consumer, field service. We cover the gamut as far as what we look at here. And just real quickly, as I mentioned earlier, not to run over on time here, but from an action perspective, these are the events that fire. And this is the desktop web here, the PWA one. So when I come on, how do I call a service? Well, these are all of the actions I have here today. These are changing. We're enhancing this on an ongoing basis. But to call one of those services, I'm just looking at that particular and saying get quotes, because what I've done is I have tied this application to a particular application in this one back up to this application here, the HostBridge application. Now you can have many applications, and think of this as an application in here as a subset of the APIs that's in the environment. But likewise, additionally, you can do things like do your mapping and things this way, or you can drop down all the way into JavaScript, because under the covers, that's what we're going to generate. This invoke service here, I've got the ability to look at this in different views, depending on what my developers like, and actually can see the generated code at all levels here. Guys, again, we're just trying to offer you a way to take the data you're getting out of HostBridge and get it out into your users' hands faster. Questions, guys? Rex, anything you want to add in here?
Perfect. No, I would I would just add, James is on the line. If anyone has any questions, for James regarding this, please feel free to ask. And of course, Daryl's here as well.
And one thing I would like to add is that everything that you just saw, in more detail even, is going to be the subject of an ebook that's just about to come out. And perhaps you were about to say that, Rex.
Yeah, but no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I literally this morning sent it off to the designer, so it's written, and we're eager to deploy that. So if you would like to have a copy of that ebook when it comes out, let us know. We will send one to you. I think Rex, I'm sorry, I'm going to let you
Yeah.
take back over and
No,
finish this out.
I would just add to that. If what you saw here today is of interest, you can respond on the chat and tell us, hey, interested, let's talk, or, get back to us. We're certainly interested in talking to you, and additionally discuss doing a proof of concept, do something, we can find something similar as to what we demonstrated here, to show its viability and how it would work in your environment. So,
and we actually have a question that just came in, and there's two questions, so I think this might be a good time to answer them both. But the most recent question, it relates to this. So let me just ask it, and then I think James and Daryl, the two of you are the right ones to answer this question. So the question about it is this: is this capability out of the box? Can you directly, using the integration, build the native apps?
And the answer to that is yes. This is a platform where we can consume all of the HostBridge APIs right out of the box. And then based on that, you actually use the platform to build your native app. What you saw there on the screens is the designer, the UI that you would use to develop those applications.
Yeah, the story that Rex told at the beginning of this is absolutely true. Me and Daryl had HostBridge and VoltMX talking to each other within 15 minutes. And it was the first time I'd ever talked to Daryl. So yeah, this is out of the box. It's amazing what you can do with this platform. I am very impressed with VoltMX and being able to build applications quickly and easily to back end services like HostBridge.
Yes. Okay. So if you have other questions, please let us know. But as is often the case with us, Rex, we have an offer. We would love to prototype this capability with you, and I can assure you that HCL, they are a very eager and willing partner, and together we can show you exactly how quickly you can put something together.